What's up, everybody? YL with Blockchain Academics. We're going to go over the crypto market cap today. Before we do that, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you guys have any questions as well, um, if you guys have any questions, I want to make sure that you guys post them below. I have been gone for about a month, but we're going to come back with the daily YouTube show going over cryptocurrency opportunities, market opportunities, and the hottest news. So our platform has actually just it was about to launch in the next week, and I've been going over that on YouTube, in our Discord. I've been talking about that for the last couple of months. We've been working so hard to launch our academy. So we're going to be giving away some hardware wallets. We're going to be giving away some cryptocurrency. We're going to be giving away free access to some lucky winners as well. People who are highly interested in trading, learning about cryptocurrency. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned, because we got a lot of stuff coming at you guys, and we're trying to become the largest cryptocurrency education platform in the world. So let's get started with the cryptocurrency market update. I have a dope background given by Tone Vase. As you can see, it's like the quarantine spot. You know what I mean? This is like where we're chilling right now. So let's get right into it. We're going to do the total crypto market cap. So this is March 11th, March 12th. This was Thursday, I believe. This was Black Thursday 2020. You could Google it. That's what it's dubbed. They have the whole Wikipedia page. Let's check it out. 2020, single day. And I know all of you guys noticed your Bitcoin portfolios dropped substantially, unless you sold out before. And all markets actually dropped substantially that day. So that was a crazy day. Just watching my portfolio and watching a lot of people get annihilated. Um, Crazy. And that's like maybe once in a decade, maybe once in did I say decade? Once in a century, once in a few decades, we would see something like this. So I look at things positively. This was crazy, but it was cool to experience it, to learn from it, and to just kind of keep working past it. So let's, like I said, let's get right into this. I hope all of your families, you guys, all are healthy, safe, and whatnot. And this is not, putting your grind or 2020 on hold. So we're looking at the total crypto market cap. Before all this crazy stuff happened, we were about 306 billion. A lot of people thought this was the resistance before Corona. Same with Bitcoin, 10.5. We hit 10.5. We're going to go look into Bitcoin. We're going to break down Bitcoin, and that's what we're going to spend on for most of the day, most of this video. But most people thought like 10,000, 10.5 was actually the top. Could we hold that? And then this whole Corona thing happened and we broke down. But there was a lot of resistance, and I was watching it closely, and I watched us break down. But this is a pretty nasty drop from 300, misclick, from 306 billion to our lowest point at 107 billion, 64% wiped. That was about $200 billion wiped off the whole total crypto market cap. And now we're sitting at 219 billion. This was a quick, crash, I would say, for Bitcoin, depending on where you're trading on. I just wanted to take a quick look at the whole total crypto market cap, and we'll move into Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin market cap itself, 142 billion, with the pre-halving coming. I like to see the dominance in Bitcoin kind of high, because a lot of people are expecting for Bitcoin to do this massive move. If we look at the Bitcoin block, we Bitcoin block reward halving will happen. So a lot of people are anticipating like this is gonna blow up because in 2012 and 2016 prices, yeah, they did blow up, but we have this whole Corona thing happening. And what's cool about TradingView is you can actually see the numbers on TradingView. So this goes in line with our analysis because this has affected the market. Like regardless if you think it hasn't or has, like it's just clear every market has been affected by this. Economies are being shut down. So if we look at confirmed, let's look at the US because they're leading in cases. And let's look at the line chart. So parabolic move, we're just going to see something that goes up essentially. So let's look at the line chart. I did start seeing some sort of curve, but it is picking up. So the numbers are compounding. You can see up top left here, they were compounding heavily when it first started, like, because the numbers were lower. So 33%, 29%. And then we were going to like 13% a day, 14% a day, 13% a day, 12% a day. And the numbers are slowly, they're kind of exponentially dying down. Even though the numbers are compounding up, the amount of cases are dying down than it was, a few weeks ago with less cases. So this is a good sign. If we look at like China, for instance, so or Italy, you see that curve about to happen. Let's look at like China, where they've kind of dealt with it. China, oh, that's the deaths. We don't want deaths. COVID, China confirmed. Deaths, China confirmed. Where did I go? China. You see, the numbers have definitely curved. They're getting about less than 100 cases a day, less than 1%, less than 0.1% almost per day now in China, which is crazy. Actually, today has 423 cases. That's the most they've had like in the last couple of weeks, actually. So, with markets, things pull back. You see, you have the Elliott wave theory. You have so many different, theories you could call them. So people are thinking this may pull back and we might see like a bigger push. We might see a bigger conversion in numbers. The summer may come, everybody may think it's normal. And then when fall comes, winter comes, we may see a more deadlier push. But as of now, things are slowing down. I think some states are opening up, which is a good sign because when we're doing analysis on BTC, all of it goes out the window when this stuff happens. When, this is a black swan event. All of it goes out the window when this stuff happens. Sorry, I just looked on the other screen and I saw myself. Okay, let's get back. Let's start looking at the Bitcoin. So I'm going to take off these indicators that I'm using right now. I'm going to stick with volume and the TI sequential. The MSR I'm going to take off. It is an indicator that I'm trying out right now on Bitmex. So I'm going to actually make another video and we're going to do like the 1 Bitcoin challenge. I'm going to work my balance up from 0.2 to Bitcoin. And then from there, we're going to do the 10 Bitcoin challenge. We're going to do 1 Bitcoin to 10 Bitcoins. So I started tracking right now the trades I'm doing. I started around 0.2127 because I didn't track that after my first trade. And I've done about 15 trades in the last 12 days. I'm up 9% in 12 days on a baby balance, about 20% of a Bitcoin. And I'm only taking these trades. I have I'm grading myself as well. Like these losses, I fell asleep. I took these trades. I fell asleep. This is 1 a.m., 8 p.m., So for example, I want to do this over 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then I'll know monthly, am I making 10%, 15%, 20%, 30% compounding, and I'll get more confident the capital is going to raise up. And I'm going to share this strategy with you guys. As you can see, the link is in the description. So let's get started with Bitcoin. We are going to use moving averages. Those are the most, I'm going to use the most used indicators in trading, actually. So I'm just going to use the 50 and 200. I'm going to use the more of like a trend based indicator right now, just to let us know which way is the trend going. So that one was 50 and this one is 200. I'm going to make them a little thicker. Let's go a little thicker. I'm just gonna put my TI indicator and we are, oops. Yeah, we're good to go. So this was the March 12th Black Thursday event. This was the large crash. It was from $8,000 to the low was 3,600, 54% in one day. Bitcoin took a huge dump. And this is the price that I think we have to kind of retest this right here, the $8,000 mark. And coincidentally, you have the moving average here as well. So I did the darker day, or the longer moving average is 200. So we're going to be using moving averages here. And for our trend, it's when we have the golden cross, when the moving averages are pointing up, we have more of an uptrend. You're going to be buying. And then when the moving averages are pointing down and you have the death cross, not the golden cross, you are going to be selling, and you know it's more of a downtrend. So I can show you how it's more evident on the 4 hour if we're using the actual MSR. And then when we go to the 4 hour, you can see how more visually it is, and what I'm talking about, because there's actual buy and sell signals that won't be there by just using the moving averages. So the moving averages crossed here, and there's other things that it takes account for. We took the long, we took the short, the long closed, took the short, took it short close, took another short, took the short here, the long close, the short close, took a short here, bought here, sold here, and then the short closed here. So that's just essentially what the MSR is. And we're going to be using moving averages similar in that matter, but you won't be seeing the buy and sell signals. So let's start with the monthly. And like I was saying, that's why we looked at the COVID numbers, is because if we get another wave down, if more companies, if more warehouses, more businesses are shut down, economies are shut down, people aren't going to be producing income. Times, you need to be very careful. And like, we had this huge monthly candle right here in January. This started off the year perfectly. You can see this, and it's like, then you get these two next candles, which just kind of reversed everything. You have this candle right here. This was February. I'm not sure when the corona news started to hit hard. I don't know if it was early March or late February. And you can see that we were pushing up, price thrusted, and we got slammed down. We couldn't hold this right here. To me, and then this next big candle after, yeah, it's not pretty. On the monthly, it's not pretty. Definitely not. We have the pre-halving, which I have been using as kind of like, I know people are looking at this as like a FOMO pump event, and people don't really understand and think that this might just explode Bitcoin into like tens or 20, 30, 40, $50,000. But that's kind of not how it works. When we broke down here and we broke down this weekly moving average, which it's held this is, I think, not the first time, but we've broken down this weekly 200-day moving average, which was important to myself because I use it on lower time frames to determine the trend. And if we started pulling down in the moving averages and started respecting them and creating basically like lower highs and lower lows, we could have seen $1,000, and heck, we can still see $1,000. So using the TD sequential system, right here, as soon as we broke, and you can just see how like volatile this is. Look at all these wicks. We broke above the moving average here, and we held. Not only that, we tried to thrust like above. This is the resistance I drew somewhere along this, and you can be picky about it and whatnot, but I'm just going to draw a quick one. So you can see how the support was used. Support held here. We broke down very nasty. We just broke right through it. We tried to break above, got rejected. We tried to thrust up, got rejected, and we kept trying. And then, as you can see here, we broke above, retested it here. And I was telling everybody in our Discord that, you know, with moving averages, moving averages, price kind of, there's a magnet and price kind of gets attracted to it. And they end up back to the moving average. So we were very but you know, after we broke this and getting kind of pushed back to the moving average, I kind of knew we were going to get and went from 1 to 2, and a strategy is buying the will push off and we'll keep pushing pre-halving. When the halving comes, I think we're going to see a dump. And after that dump, depending on what's happening with Corona, we're just going to make our way to the largest bull market, Bitcoin bull market we've ever seen. So that is what I'm kind of sticking to on the weekly. It's you know, we broke below these moving averages. We're created lower highs. So I want to go back to the weekly actually and show you guys what we need to do. You know, like I said, I'm not going to perfect the trend line. I don't really care right now. So what we were in an uptrend, what you want to see is higher highs and higher lows. What we started seeing here, so this was the high, and you can see that we started breaking. This was when we broke this trend. But in the larger picture, you could say that this trend, this downtrend has still not been broken from 20 grand. For us to break that long-term trend, we need to break the price of 20 grand. We need to put a higher high than there. And for us to break this, we need to put a higher high than the 13 grand, 14 grand, and hold that. For us to trade above here, oh, I put a text there. For us to trade above and hold this candle above 11,500 and start posting candles above here, I'd be pretty bullish. You know, I'd be super bullish, depending on how it was looking. For us to trade above 14 and then we start holding and trading above 20 grand, holy, you know, it's like my dream just, it got, you know, a little bit realer. On the way to 100 grand, $1 million, each Bitcoin price. So right here, we put in a high in comparison to these highs and lows here, but then we started putting lower highs. So you can see right here was a lower high, and right here, did I copy paste that? No, I copy pasted, copy paste, yeah. So right here is a lower low, right here. And then we put a lower high, then we put a lower low, The high, can we group these? You see, this, I didn't even realize that. To me, to notice that, honestly, before this pre-happening, or not pre-happening, before this whole Corona stuff, I was very bullish on Bitcoin about right here. I really thought we were going to break out here. You see, we put a new high, and I was long. I obviously used stop losses, so this drop didn't really, aside from my portfolio obviously getting impacted, like everybody's portfolio did, unless you did some crazy magic before, or you sold out everything beforehand of Corona. It anticipated that. That's great on you, but I was actually thinking that this is going to push for pre-halving and keep pushing like it's doing here, and I thought we were just going to push and then have like a heavy dump for the halving, but we got that beforehand. So I was long here because we broke this high, and now we put a lower low, and it looks like we are going to try another high here. And if not, we could be putting in. I don't think we're going to put in another lower low here, but we could kind of just play out here. So that's on the larger time frame. That is on the larger time frame. If we break 10 grand again and keep pushing, I would be a bull. Right now, it's uncertain. It's super hard to, I don't want to say guess, but take an educated, pick on the market in ordinary times. But with Corona and everything happening right now, it's just, way harder, and nobody can do so. So looking at this as well on the move on the 5 day, nothing I want to share on the 4 day. On the 5 day, actually, we are seeing resistance. No, we're not too very soon, but not as of right now. On the 4 day, you have the candle right here, and then the engulfing bearish candle. This is a perfect candlestick play right here. Variation, bearish variation right here. You have the 9, you have that doji, a lot of uncertainty here, and then you have the bearish engulfing. This is a perfect setup. That would have been a dirty, very profitable short, which I honestly did not take. So 9 here as well. To let you know that the trend isn't ending right now, but it is nearing an end. Just to let you know that the trend is nearing an end, and to take caution. Um, and not only that, while we're through that average, each time it's kind of tested it, not necessarily stayed above, but it has broken through. So maybe it does keep pushing here. Here. Um, I still see like a wick up. We could still definitely wick up. Hour, and we see a lot of the price is going up here, but there's a ton of fight happening. As you can see, the shadows, there's buyers and sellers are stepping in at different times for holding the price here. The buyers really stepped up, and buyers are really stepping up here. Every time it dumps a little bit, the buyers are definitely stepping up. But to me, it's kind of looking like a drawn out move. I do want to see what the volume's looking like. Indicator, volume, and I also want to see the RSI. So volume, yeah, a ton of volume here, and price is still going up. It hasn't made a new high, but price is going is still fighting with downward volumes. So I'm just wondering how much is this move going to really hold up? And if we look on the 4 hour, it does look like a continuation pattern, definitely looking like a continuation pattern on the 4 hour. You have the bullish bull flag or bull pennant flag, however you want to put it. And then I'm not going to draw it too pretty because I don't really care. You know what I mean? But some people may say this is a rising wedge, but to me, it's definitely a continuation pattern. But when I'm looking at the RSI and I'm looking at the volume as well, like we're putting there is a lot of volume coming in, but it's not the strongest as well. Like look at the volume here, look at it compared to here, and we're trying to break heavy resistance. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's dying out. And on the RSI, what I am seeing, it's not that large of a divergence, but price is moving up here while RSI is moving downwards, which is a slight divergence. So to me, it's just like this move is slowing. It's kind of tiring out to me, to be honest. So this can go both ways. Can continue up with the pre-halving pump, with everybody bullish, everybody anticipating Bitcoin going back to its highs, Corona's done with, or it could dump for the halving as well. And because of Corona and the whole economy shut down, the countries are still in quarantine. Maybe quarantine gets pushed for another month. It's so hard in these times. Like stop losses, it's a must. If you haven't been using stop losses in this type of market or previously, you need to start using them now, because a wick like this will liquidate your whole account. Oil, for example, going into negative right here. It's like you got to really be careful, protect your assets, protect your capital. Take money management very seriously. So on the 4 hour, I'm going to remove all the drawings. So this is, to me, like this could start going down. RSI could start going down. The price can start making a higher high on take control here. But to me, the move is looking weaker. You can see like there's no volume right now. The sell volume is just kind of overtaking every time, and it's kind of just drawn out right now. So if we look on the 15-minute, I'm going to remove 15-minute is long actually. Oh yeah, 15 minutes long from back here. I entered that long at 7,100, which was pretty good through MSR actually. So let me remove all indicators, get the MSR on there just so it's more visual for you guys. Invite only MSR. Let's get it. So we are still long on the 15-minute. I think we are long on the 4 hours, or we on some exchanges we're long here, but we closed the short, which I wanted to see. We closed the short from the start of this huge drop. We closed the second short. So I like to see kind of like a repainting of a signal, of a fresh signal, and it's about to happen. So I'm just watching this very closely. I'm going to be coming back daily. I mean, with everything happening, we just had some few hurdles in the way, but now we're back at this daily. Our education platform just launched. Our trading is going amazing. We're doing some contests, and we have more time than ever. So that's about it for today. Wanted to share my quick thoughts, what we've been up to, what's happening in the world today. And that's basically it. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment so you never miss any crypto opportunity. And if you have any questions, make sure to post them below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.